out to all the massive on the African continent. And you're tuning into the African Bliss Show with your host, none other than Jody. Monday to Friday. Stay tuned. Andrew Robinson and love, respect, and justice for all. Big up massive. Greetings and salutations, man. All the way in Switzerland. And you're tuning into the Blackwater Radio.
Mwanamke aliniambia nike mbali na yeye ndio tujere na tungevuka hiyo terrain mimi ndo the main na kumwambia mandle na tani ndishi kupesa unajua sisi ya pain kifua imejaa moshi kila sana itajipita nikana asma nikamekibia mita kila kituoni wana time nzizi nikani lazima kushika mzinga ulikuwa poa before kutinga ulikuwa naokoa ukashindwa kulipa sasa unaroroa unajiona umefika headshot nikanilipa board kupiga hapo ukibonga mbaya unaweza uliwa pia ukibanja sana utashukiwa tulia usiforce baraka utafikiwa simkanga na roga hapa unasikiza siwa unalala kwa mtaro unaona moko Alejandro nasikia una moko kwanza sema no ujinga unapiga simu bila pesa mfukoni ukifika simu you're not performing kwanza sema no ujinga kutumia dondo ukuje unione I'm the wrong don I'm not that lonely hata kama ni show you got nothing on uliza manika jijo from Kilifi homie yo Mr. Politician where's the solution for a newborn same condition let's change constitution change our pollution poor living condition by distribution flag red is your friend bila when make sense na sunset mini shazed na washikisha reno wakinisaka Karen when you start when you suck up and special treatment sababu na trend jebuni kuuliza wamekuandikia check ni reality check hata ikwantaje unalipiwa rent unaniambiaje unalala kwa mtaro unaona moko Alejandro nasikia una moko kwanza sema no tu ujinga unapiga simu bila pesa mfukoni ukifika simu you're not performing kwanza sema no tu ujinga unalala kwa mtaro unaona moko Alejandro nasikia una moko kwanza sema no
Yes, and of course, good afternoon to everyone who's listening to me via the radio station on Facebook, YouTube, on TikTok. Karibuni sana to all our amazing first-time listeners and, of course, back-to-back listeners. Karibuni sana, and, of course, happy, amazing, blessed week. That is all I'm wishing you as you start this amazing, amazing week. And, of course, welcome to today's conversation. It is exactly 49 minutes to 49 minutes past 12 p.m. Sijana nwa ntaja na nwa nsengenya huyo but unitoe kwa kichwa chako. Yeah, karibuni sana. It is exactly 49 minutes past 12 p.m. And of course, I hope you guys have had a beautiful, beautiful weekend and you're looking forward to having an amazing, amazing week. Today, we shall be talking and sharing a video and we shall be going deeper back to history again. And literally, what is happening today in the African continent. And this coming from Eric Prince. I don't know how many of you are aware of Eric Prince, but personally, I bumped into him this weekend and there's a video of him of what he had, some points he had to make about Africa, the leaders, the colonization, re-colonization, and that has been surfacing online. And of course, Africans are so furious. Africans are so hungry. But of course, who are the white people? Am I shocked for seeing this? Personally, no. It is the savages who they are. And of course, I want to welcome the savage himself right here on TikTok. Shout out to Anthony Babayao. Shout out to everyone who's also listening to me via this other platform. I'll be sharing much more of that because they say that actually Africa needs to be recolonized again. We have leaders who are sleeping, leaders who are just pocketing their money. But I want us to take us back to who is the main reason, or why is the main reason why Africa won't develop, why we won't even be able to make a step forward. We're always stuck on the same position of always begging money from the IMF, the World Bank. We know the same people who actually, they have formed different types of name who actually control same organization, but control different organization. You know, it's crazy. One family, one group, came up with one organization, but it has different other branches, and which are literally running and controlling Africa. We'll be getting back to the oil shell of stealing in the that is in Nigeria. I remember I've shared that. I think 2 times. That was in 2022, 2023, and I'll not be sharing the video again, but I'll be able to share the link for those who have not been able to see it. We saw the discovery of our shell was stolen. We've seen the looting of resources in DRC Congo. I'll be sharing a video of Dr. Arikana as she speaks and calls out on those who are behind all this. So why is Eric Prince, and who gave him the authority to think Africa needs to be recolonized again? We're seeing DRC Congo. It's actually protesting and demonstrating against the US, the UK, all of these flags that we have put, or rather they are kept in Africa, and they're not here to serve any purpose of cooperation, but literally destabilizing people and displacing people. We've been seeing positive things happening in different parts of the African continent. Senegal is also another country. We saw that we had a secret coup, and we saw how the puppets are scared. Those who have been accused of stealing and putting money in their pocket, and them changing the elections date till that is in 15th of December this year, we checked, and much more. So Karibuni Sana, that is our major focus of the day. But of course, I'll be coming back as I give my condolences to the marathon runner of the 254 who has actually died on a road accident. And personally, I have my remarks and view to give when it comes to marathon runners, literally people who are on the Olympics games. I've seen so many times presidents, leaders come and show remorse at this, especially hurtful time when the family is suffering and going through a lot. Is the time they get to recognize the person who has put the country on the flag and all that. But when it comes to appreciating these people and even tutoring and where skills are important when it comes to school, again, we've spoken about this, to children and all that, it has been a less thing that is focused on, and much more on that. Personally, I feel like these people's lives, when you talk about journalists, how we are, majority of us, limited to freedom of speech, freedom of expression, even some bloggers, activists, Pan-Africanists, let me say this specifically. I think personally, like marathon runners, their lives are always in danger as well. I don't know why, but I've seen so many cases, and you are also welcome to the debate for those who actually understand maybe a few or 2 or 3 things about this. And why do we have always marathon runners, Olympic players always dying coincidentally or uncoincidentally? Is always something happening. I don't know what are your thoughts regarding this, because I remember 3 weeks ago at the beginning of the year or towards the end of the year, we had a marathon runner who was actually Ugandan. He was stabbed. That was in Nakuru County, and I remember I saw the video of it, how the whole incident happened, and it is super crazy. Why is this always happening? That is my question as we get to come back with the quote of the day. The next song I'm playing is Sisi Niwale, and I hope you guys get to enjoy this. I'll be coming back with much more of the news and updates of what is happening in the continent of Africa.
Na Mungu, sisi ndo wale tuliobarikiwa na Baba, sisi ndo wale tuliosaidiwa na Mungu, sisi ndo wale. Yes, and my quote of the day today says, I'm wishing you a Monday filled with positive energy, productive moments, and beautiful blessings towards the end of the week. Stay blessed, and of course, karibuni sana to the Blackwater Network radio station. Unakula nao na kucheka nao, kesho kidondoka utakuwa nao. Piga moyo konde wakati wa Mungu, wakati sahihi. Piga moyo konde wakati wa Baba, wakati sahihi.
Sisi ni wale tuliosaidiwa na Mungu, sisi ndo wale tuliobarikiwa na Baba, sisi ndo wale tuliosaidiwa na Mungu, sisi ndo wale tuliobarikiwa na Baba.
You're tuning into the Black Fire Radio, and you're listening to. This is the Pan-African Bliss, and of course, karibuni sana. Shout out to Mzali, as I say in the building. Karibu sana. Shout out to GK. Karibu sana. Hope you guys are doing amazing, and your weekend was beautiful as well. This is the Blackwater Fire Network radio station, media of the 21st century, and of course, I'd love to urge you, in case this is your first time right here, and you've been missing most of our shows, or rather you want to join us officially, kindly go to the www.blackwaterfirenetwork.com. That is our website. Sign in, and it gives you the chance to also purchase merchandise from us. We have hoodies, we have mugs, we have handbags for the ladies. We have a lot going on there. And also, like I said, health products shall be coming your way very soon, skincare products for the ladies as well, and much, much more. So keep it up, the Blackwater Fire Network radio station, and of course, enjoy much more of our amazing services. And of course, shout out to everyone with us also on Facebook, on YouTube, and on the radio. Remember, if in case you're on the radio, you can pin your comments via the show, and that lets me know what you feel about today's conversation. Like I said, straight to the matters of the day, but I want to start before we get to Eric Prince's video, or Eric's Prince remarks, which has made Africans so mad. And I'm mad too, because how dare these people, how dare white people, how dare you're in the continent, you've been literally terrorizing our people. It's not enough. You've been taking over lands through the access of our leaders, which so many African people are fighting so hard to get. Our ancestral lands, these people are getting for free. And they have the audacity to say we need to be recolonized. Make that make sense. But before we get to that, like I said, I want to talk about the marathon runners. And of course, this coming from the 254, specifically from the 254. I don't know if it's me alone, but I'd love to hear from my audience, those who have me on TikTok especially. And if you've been seeing the cases of Olympic players always being murdered, okay? I'm not saying this case right here that I'm about to address that is the case, but I've seen so many lives of Olympic players in danger all the time. You'll hear a woman has been killed, especially by these KDF soldiers. I don't know if these people are always mentally ill and they need to be checked. I feel like we should be having checkup of their mental every time, because we're going to be having mental ill people who are serving our country. Yeah, we've had so many Olympic women, especially players, who are murdered by the KDF soldiers, who are maybe their lovers. That is a lover relationship type of issue. But there's a case of where we see men who are always found butchered for no reason. If you try follow up most of these cases, which I doubt and bet they're not literally always followed, it's not like the families of these people don't have money, because we've seen what and how Olympic players are literally representing the 254. That is just us being honest. Kenya is ranked, and we are considered best marathon players, if I'm not wrong. Correct me. I bet all Africans can do it, but so far it's the 254 representing. That is from other African countries. We have also Jamaicans on the board, and so many you can mention, but Kenya. But my question of today, because we woke up to the shock as well, we have the world marathon record holder who goes by the name Kip Tam, and he was also a coach, and he died in a road accident. And this comes as a surprise to me. I'm shocked personally, because this is not the first incident we're gonna see. We're gonna see so many incidents, and mind you, car crash. I mean, how many cases have we seen of people, victims, dying on a car crash? You know, that is just me. You're allowed to also have an open debate with me. They're saying that the world marathon record holder, Kevin Kiptum, and his Rwandese coach, Gavalis Hakizamana, have died in a road accident at Kaptagat area along Elgeyo Marakwet Ravine Road. Damn. I don't know where that is, located right here in Kenya, but shout out to those who are coming from those areas. And the accident occurred on Sunday at 11 p.m. according to Elgeyo Marakwet Police Commander Peter Mulinge. And they're saying that Kiptum was driving a Toyota Premium
Premier with 2 passengers on board, Gavalis and a lady identified as Sharon Kosgei coming from Eldoret. And Sharon escaped with serious injuries and was rushed to the Racecourse Hospital for medical attention, while the bodies of the athlete and his coach were taken to the Racecourse Hospital mortuary. And the vehicle was badly damaged and towed to Kaplagat a police station. Well, this is an accident, but the reason why I'm talking about this, and of course, seeing what the president is also talking about, because I see he has come forth and is mourning also the death of the fallen, the death of the marathon runner. That is Kelvin Kiptum, and I don't know if there's a speech of him of what he had to say. He says that in a statement, President Kiptum said that Kiptum was a star and arguably one of the best athletes in the world. And this is what the president had to say, that he was only 24 years old and yet he triumphed as a hero in Chicago, London, other top competitions, and his mental strength and discipline were unparalleled. And Kiptum was our future. That is what the president had to say. He said that this guy was the future. But it's crazy how they realize the future once it has fallen, the future once the life is gone or taken away. But another question again, because I've seen this a lot, and I think we're going to discuss this tomorrow on the Culture Show, and maybe on other shows, we're going to bring it forth. But personally, I've seen the lives of marathon runners, Olympic players is always on the line. I don't know what's always going on behind the scene, but I've seen it a couple of times. If you try to look historically, you just go down the line historically, how many marathon runners in terms of women and men, how many have died, and what's the root cause of their death? Majority of them, you'll find it's a car accident, which again, car accident. I want you to be conscious of a car accident and much more. So we'll be checking onto that, and I'll be updating you guys tomorrow. We'll go much more deeper on the conversation and so on. But moving forth, I also want to debate now, get into the major conversation, because I have so many videos to share, and this is coming from Eric Prince. He had remarks to say, and of course from the source of the news, for them they're saying that in a provocative statement that has ignited controversy across the globe, Eric Prince, known for his role in private military contracting, has made a bold call for re-colonization of Africa. The audacity. This perspective, coming from figure deeply entrenched in military and security affairs, demands a critical examination of its implication. And Prince's career, marked by the founding of Blackwater, now known as Academy. I don't know if it's Academy or Academy. It's Academy, the way I'm pronouncing it, not Academy, Academy. Positions him in a polarizing figure in discussion of military privatization and international security. His news on Africa, a continent with a complex history of colonialism and struggle for sovereignty, raises serious questions about the ethics and motivations behind such proposals. It's essential for consideration. It's essential to consider the historical context of colonization in Africa, characterized by exploitation and the suppression of indigenous culture. So I want to share
it's time for us to,
and you guys let me know, diving into the conversation for those who are with me on TikTok, and let me know what you feel. Shout out to user 79, Karibu Sana. Shout out to Kamin. Welcome to today's conversation. So this is Eric Prince remarks.
to put the imperial hat back on, to say, we're going to govern those countries if you're incapable of governing yourselves, because enough is enough. We're done being invaded.
Because our own national security risk is at stake.
Exactly.
National security interests are at stake.
You can say that about pretty much all of Africa. They're incapable of governing themselves and benefiting their citizens, because the governments there are all about looting and pillaging and lining their pockets and going shopping in Paris instead of actually
All right, hold
making
on a
their
second.
country
Hold on.
better.
People on the left are going to watch this. They're going to say, wait a minute, Eric Prince is talking about being a colonialist again.
Absolutely. Yes.
Of course, he would say this. This is Eric Prince, the founder of Blackwater.
Now, my question is Blackwater, because I went to the page and I was trying to dig deeper what Blackwater is all about. And I feel like I have less information, especially coming from Google, about Blackwater. And I was trying to dig one of the articles which reveals the dark truth about Blackwater. And this happened on September 16, 2007. And caution, I'm not sure about the facts. If you know much more about the history, feel free to dive in on the conversation. Write down on the comment section if you find this later on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, because all the shows are uploaded. And let's educate each other, because personally I go back and forth to check my shows, who's commented, and I'm always privileged to see people being, or rather engaging. Okay, so I'll read one of the articles that I found, and I hope, Keith, if you shall be catching this on a replay as well, you can also educate me further on this. So be cautioned, I'm not sure, and I don't have straight facts about the Blackwater, but I feel like, of course, Google, we've seen so far. So this happened on September 16, 2007, and it was a convoy of Blackwater contractors guarding state department employees entered a crowded square near the Mansour district in Baghdad, that was in Iraq. But versions of what caused the ensuing bloodshed diverge, where the employees from the farm claim that they were attacked by gunmen and responded with the rules of engagement, fighting their way out of square after one of their vehicles was disabled. Iraq police and witnesses instead report that the contractors opened fire first, shooting at a small car driven by a couple with their child that did not get out of the convoy's way, as traffic showed. So if you try to go down the whole article, we have the US government involved. It's a lot going on with this Blackwater thing, so I'm not sure what it is all about, but I'll share the article's link for those who are with me on StreamYard, and you guys can let me know, because I don't trust Google. I don't trust Google. But yes, anything that we had Eric Prince saying when it comes to how African leaders have failed to govern the continent, it is true. But who is the root cause and the main cause? What is the main reason why Africa won't be able to govern itself? Let's start by itself. Because Africa does not govern itself. Africa is not governed by presidents we assume are presidents. Africa has no power. That's the truth being told by the rest of the world, but no African puppets being telling us, the African people, of what their roles is all about. So everything he said is true. These people are puppets who are selected to do and ensure Africa will never develop, and its people will always be impoverished. And like he said, I mean, it's true, and we had the Pandora Papers being revealed and much more. How many of these leaders do you know they own schools, homes, so much out of the continent of Africa, and even go further and educate their children out of the African continent, but won't dare develop the schools in their own continent? So the question again goes back. Who is the main reason why Africa won't govern itself? So let's listen to this lady.
The infamous mercenary private military group. In his heyday, he was known for getting billions of dollars in United States contracts, all for the purpose of weapons, training, armed forces, and sending mercenary groups into war-torn.
And it's time for us to just put to put the
countries to continue destabilization and violence. His hands are very dirty. To try to clean things up, he actually started a fund called Frontier Resources, where he targeted Chinese investors for the sole purpose of exploiting Africa's minerals. He basically would provide the security and the logistics for them to go into African countries.
Not him. I believe it's just a source being used the same way we have Bill Gates, the same way we have Mark Zuckerberg, the same way we have Hillary Clinton, the same way we have Antony Blinken, the same way we have Antonio Guterres. All of these people, You know, it's crazy, especially, and I'm always surprised by black people, but I'm not surprised again because we're all learning, we're just waking up. So I always feel sometimes bad that African American majority of them are not really connected to the truth. But yeah, she's just being used, and I'd love to make this lady understand. He has no money to fund all of those projects. Chinese is another created puppet country coming through the back door for the West. That is one thing we don't understand, and I think it's gonna take time. And before we get to realize this is what the main reason why Chinese are here, oh baby, whatever Eric Prince said is gonna have already happened. We're gonna be already colonized, recolonized again. Eric Prince has no money to fund nothing to China. China, again, understand, is a made-up puppet country coming through the back door to invade Africa, take control of everything. I mean, doesn't it make sense why right now? I think it clicks right now and hits the brain so well. Why we've been having Chinese being the ones building our road projects. We're talking about assets here. We're talking about assets. We're talking about land. So the bigger the loan, the bigger the land they can take. And what type of roads do we even have? So I'm so sorry, baby girl, but that's not true what you said.
That lacked infrastructure and were considered unsafe. So his whole business model is profiting off of the exploitation of Africa.
I backed my way into the mining business after running a counter-piracy program off the coast of Somalia, or actually on the shore of Somalia.
Wow, through the help of who? Because I'm certain these people don't come here and they start running some mining companies without the access and the knowledge of our president. I mean, you want to tell me these leaders are so damn so asleep? You don't have no idea how many resources are in your country, leave alone that who is the beneficiary of the country you control. You want to tell me these people are so damn like that? I fail to believe so. I believe they're so well educated, very well groomed to know if you refuse to do this, because I'm not just coming here as Anthony Guterres to just take resources. Somebody sent me. And if you don't do it, you and I are going to die. I can't go back and report that you said no. My work is not to say no. My work is to say yes. They said yes. This country and this country in Africa said yes. We can steal resources. Oh my God. I don't know what to tell you. I always feel so bad for Africans who don't get politics, because it's so sweet.
Which ended Somali piracy. And the first operation the guys did was 500 kilometers one way, a police unit that was built.
Wow.
And I thought, if we can do that logistically and unsupported
countries to continue destabilization and violence.
I mean, I wish I found much of that video. I wish I can find it before the end of the show. But to just combine the whole situation and the story, to understand why, and whatever Eric Prince is saying about Africa being recolonized again, and us having presidents who just go to Paris to have lunch, to go chill there, because that's what they do. Being honest, everything he said is true. But isn't all this dictatorship coming from the people who also control him to deliver this message to Africa? Don't you feel like, because it's crazy how we fail to understand, especially in the continent, these people sit so confidentially talking about the continent without having an aim about it. And this aim being in motion. It's not just an aim that is being discussed, or in 100 years, this is a plan we're thinking about recolonizing Africa. It's already happening. It's on the move. They move in silence. That's the crazy part with America. The West and even the Chinese, because we know the two are working together. Our enemies move in silence. But our presidents, every time something happens, like the 254 2 weeks ago, we had Colton discovered 6 counties again. What did Kenya do? Instead of keeping, and this was again controlling of information as a continent. is very important. We need to be very careful of what comes in and what goes out. What is being pursued or assume, what is being assumed about us? What is being talked about us as a continent? Should we be bothered? Should we actually bother to be able to take care of our own image? That is the biggest question. Do we understand who we're dealing with? Because I feel like Kenya did, and actually most of the African countries do fail when it comes to this. Every time we discover any resources in our countries, we call this controlled mainstream media, come film. Hey, we found it. Come see. Show the world how they've been saying, show it you're so capable. Show it that now we can get loans if they get this, But it comes to the price to pay. It comes to the price to pay of where people are butchered, people are displaced. Talk about Congo, because I'm about to share what Dr. Arikana was saying. And this should answer Eric Prince, Dr. Arikana, Patrick Lumumba, people like Julius Malema, who calls himself a EFF, freedom fighter of South Africans, or whatever he stands for. We should be seeing all these Pan-Africanists standing right now. And if we really had also leaders calling on this coon for saying Africa needs to be recolonized again, show them the damages they have done. Show them the main reason why Africa won't make its own decision. Because who have you chosen as a leader? Who do we have as a leader? Tinubu, Buhari, Skedi. You mean Anana Akufo-Addo? Some just made up good English, but nothing when it comes to power. Kagame, I can't wait for that guy to be literally prosecuted, I can't wait. It's going to be amazing to watch. But let me share this very quickly. This is coming from the channel of Make Africa Great. It's an amazing channel that shares a lot of... I've shared so many videos coming from the channel itself. And you can check out some more of the videos that you'd love to watch. We have so many videos of shared of these Pan-Africanist leaders. So many videos shared of what is happening daily in the African continent. But right here on this one, we have Dr. Arikana talking the truth about who is literally exploiting the resources in Congo, not just in Congo. Because again, I go back to what brought us here. Eric Prince, a private military contractor who is advocating for Africa being recolonized. He says African puppets have failed. They're just chilling in Paris having lunch, for those who are just tuning in. But who is the main reason why Africa won't govern itself? That's the question. Eric, that is Dr. Arikana, has the answers. Let me share this.
And then you begin to give them examples of the things that we do. We are on an automatic pilot of stupidity. That has got to end. You tell me why today Africa continues to be exploited to the extent that we do. We do not add value to our natural resources.
Exactly. We do not. Again, value has not been taught about our resources. We need to understand, Dr. Arikana, that majority of our people are less educated. I said it last week. I was surprised last year when I was discussing about, I can't remember the resource that was discovered in DRC Congo, but we had a new resource discovered in DRC Congo. I can't remember. Maybe it's part of what people know, but I didn't know. And going deeper, doing my research, I figured out even different names. And amazingly, I saw another video that was on one of these sites, which we had children from Congo calling out on the US, all these governments that are exploiting and killing them. They made up a video saying, stop killing us because of aluminium, silver, cobalt, and a lot they mentioned. So number one, as much as we're blaming Africans for not understanding the value of their resources, who is to blame for not giving us this information? Look at how many Africans beg for education. It's crazy how we are the ones who taught the rest of the world how to read and write, to wash their ass, pardon my French. But it's crazy right now. We are the ones begging for the same knowledge. Make that make sense. How this power just took over to the point where we have African ancient teachers who are so scared to come out because if they do so, They won't survive the bullet. A poisoned arrow won't save you from a bullet. A knife won't save you from a bullet. So it's crazy, man. But let me share this.
70% of the coltan in the world comes from DRC.
True. And discovered in Kenya. That's why I said Kenyans should be worried. I mean, let me check again those counties. I need to just be very, because it's really disturbing my head. How many counties in Kenya were discovered they have coltan? Exactly. So 6. In how many? Which counties there? Okay, so we have this is Tana River County. We have Mwingi North Kitui. I fear for my people. We have Samburu. I fear for Samburu people, because these people, especially right now, you'll find they're the ones who are always seeking aid, food aid from the government, but they're about to be exploited, despite them never even getting even access of food. They're about to be displaced so badly. We have Loima. I don't know where that is. We have Loima and Makutano in Turkana, okay, county, and Alale in Pokot. I don't know why they didn't mention Kisii County, because I saw from another article that we had the Kisii County, and I think some parts of the western parts of Africa, Kenya. Yeah, but I will dig out more. Shout out to everyone with us on TikTok. For those who are following the host, karibuni sana, and I hope you guys are enjoying. So yeah.
Can you imagine if DRC was to come together and say everything that requires coltan has got to be manufactured in DRC? Every chip, microchip that needs coltan must be manufactured in DRC.
They'd be so far, and we'd not even be seen. It's crazy how this is the country supplying power to the rest of the world, making iPhones, Tesla cars, all this electrical bullshit. You've seen them now coming with. But this country, majority of the times, is always in the dark. And you know who's actually been trusted to go supply power in DRC? The Chinese. The same people, we think they're better allies than the West. If we don't realize that Chinese is a made-up state coming through the back door for this, the rest of these other countries, oh my God.
That means every cell phone, every laptop, every electric battery that requires coltan has to be the microchips must be manufactured in DRC.
Yep.
Do you know how many jobs we could create?
Many.
The question is, the Congolese themselves know very well that 70% of coltan in this world are coming from their country.
They do know, my friend. What are you talking about? They do know, my friend. It's I don't know why people love acting ignorant, especially these people who are just solely seeking YouTube money, because this is acting ignorant and stupid. You just saw these people and you posted it on your channel. These people demonstrating about the US, the UK, France, them being in their country and exploiting them. There's lack of peace in DRC Congo because of these people. You're asking if they don't. You mean you want to say they don't know what they're fighting for? I mean, then you want to tell me this is not some level of ignorance that we always keep on speaking about Africans? There's no you're telling me you're an old reporter, Pan-Africanist, and you don't know what's going on about what you're reporting. Do Congolese know? Of course they do know. I'm not trying to be pissed off, so let's continue. I'm trying to have a good week.
From Congo, are they know?
Do you know how many millions of jobs we could create with one mineral? And yet they look at us and say, why is there youth unemployment?
I mean,
hell, you're taking all on.
Look at Burkina Faso right now. Burkina Faso just started its own. It built its own company to start processing their own resources. Their first mining processing company. And they've already created 100 jobs. Already, that was last weekend, but one, if I'm not wrong, 100 jobs already for 100 people and much more to come. So yes, Dr. Arikana would be very far. Employment should not be even a debate in Africa because we're so wealthy. Again, like I always say, I don't know where this knowledge, but I feel like I always carried some knowledge from my past life, especially regarding how we used to live as a community and how wealth was extended and knowledge was so important to us being taught. I don't know where this information, but I always have the images and the information in my head. But shout out to the universe if I still have some records. We were so wealthy, okay? Very wealthy. Very, very wealthy. Let me tell you, we didn't even need this, what you're seeing today, the urbanization and all this industrialization we have today for us to continue enriching ourselves, or for us making wealth available to us. It was just there. It was just there. So it's really, goddamn, it's a lot.
Resources. You're putting trade policies that make it difficult for Africans to dictate how they sell their minerals, how they add value.
I mean, let's check again something else. Thank you for saying that. Because yes, that's what they have done. And you know, something else they have done is that they have so many companies that extort our resources here. And I don't know how many of them they are. How many mining companies do we have in Africa? And 170. Oh my God. And majority of them, trust me, we don't even control none of them. And I'm certain Google is hiding some numbers. Except Google is denying some numbers. They're saying that the numerous multinational mining companies in Africa with roots to the continent and abroad. The largest mining company in Africa includes the BHP, Bitlon. I don't want to mention all of them. There are so many, but there are so many. God damn. This is crazy. This is so crazy. Let me tell you, you learn something every single day when you're doing research. Especially, I think journalists will learn every single day. But yeah, this is crazy. So we have 170 mining companies, and like I said, we're not sure about the number. It's Google giving us the statistics, and Google has started hiding the truth because Africans are waking up. So I bet it's not just 170 companies. There are those probably unknown, apart from the ones we know. But yep, it is crazy. We don't control Dr. Arikana, any of them. And that's why we can't add value of our extorted resources, you know.
The international trade policies are totally against Africa and its development, and it's by design.
True.
And that takes me to the Berlin Conference. Berlin Conference, if you're going to understand why Africa is today, you must understand the Berlin Conference. Some might think the Berlin Conference is a piece of history. It's a thing of the past. I used to hear diaspora ask me that all the time. Ambassador, why do you keep talking about the Berlin Conference? It's a thing of the past. I'm sorry to say, my brother.
It's not a thing of the past.
For those who choose to remain ignorant, and these are educated people with PhDs, the Berlin Conference is alive and well. The colonizers did not spend 4 months in the cold Berlin winter from November of 1884 to February of 1885, just for the heck of it. They did not spend 4 months to strategize on how to prosper Africa. They spent the 4 months strategizing on how to see to it that Africa and her children are forever defeated and dominated.
So you can see the strategies that we are put to make sure that we, the people of Africa, will continue to be dominated. Of course, we need to undo this situation at the people of Africa, and also we need to spend a lot of time and to have this meeting, maybe by African Union or our
African Union, bro. Let me tell you this. These are cool YouTubers, okay? Cool YouTubers. I'm glad to understand again what I'm watching. God damn.
See how we can come together and undo this situation, because without doing so, we continue to be dominated. maybe we have to
And
spend.
will continue being dominated if you trust in people like the AU to you. I mean, for so long, why are Africans still begging? Why is AU actually being called out to talk and address the matters happening in Senegal, Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso? If really the African Union represent and talks on behalf of African countries, brother, I'd really love to have a one-on-one debate, and these people are gonna be gone and mad. Gone and mad.
Even 6 months sitting in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, thinking how we can Africa, how we can have a language that is uniting us, how we can abolish these borders. You know, if you look, our communities are divided in pieces.
It's crazy when you talk about the borders. It looks like it's something so hard for us Africans to decide. I mean, what is it? We just need to say no borders. It just takes it's just a word. There's no documents, no papers needs to be signed anywhere, no words that needs to be taken down. Nothing needs to be taken down. What needs to be done is these coons who claim they're presidents try to do something about it just by a word of mouth. But again, do you know why they won't do it, Eric Prince? Because such people like you are being used to get in the back door to come threaten them and tell them, if you do this, your head is going to disappear. And your family cannot do anything about it. That's where the question of who is in power in Africa comes in. Do these leaders even have any power of just wiping their butt or what? Huh? Of doing what? Taking flights? Walking on a red carpet? Do you even understand what a red carpet is? Crazy. Shout out to you, Jiba Jaba, karibu sana. Yes, I am on fire. This coon is making me, you want to make me angry, and I'm trying to hold it. I want to have a one-on-one with this kind of people, trust me, and I'll have to organize this. I will have to organize one-on-one debate with these so-called YouTubers who claim they know a lot. Blackout fire versus them. Because you need to be called out. You're just gaining some YouTube numbers not being real. The AU. What? Are you dumb? You asking if the Congolese people know about their resources. You sound crazy to me. Go through the YouTube streets and see how many Congolese are out here. If you understand Swahili, brother, because I bet you do. You're from the 254. You know, you should sit down, look at YouTube videos. We have Congolese out here speaking in Swahili, calling out Rwanda, France, calling out all these colonizers and all the people who are literally being used like skedi to oppress them. Shit. Come on. Shout out to you, K. Williams. Shout out to you. It's just the beginning of the week. It's just the beginning of the week. It's just the beginning of the week. But yes, my weekend has been amazing. Hope yours has been superb as well. To everyone who's tuning in via YouTube, Facebook, karibuni sana. Kindly hit that like button and welcome to today's conversation. And yes, do take care on your way to work. And thank you so much for tuning in on today's conversation. I'm sharing this conversation, rather how I found myself here. I was sharing a video. I don't know how many of you have seen it, but I'll share it again for those who are just tuning into, because I'm almost 10 minutes of winding up. We had Eric Prince. I don't know how many of you have seen that, but we have Eric Prince videos are facing online, and which has Africans so mad. Him saying that Africa needs to be, is advocating for Africa being recolonized again. Neocolonialism taking over, which is already is again. He says actually African leaders are out here just taking trips to Paris, chilling, pocketing money. But again, the question comes in, what is the main reason why Africa won't govern itself? Because on this video, we have this lady who's explaining much more of Eric Prince. I just figured out that he's actually he's a private contractor, private military contractor. And behind it, I don't know, is also the one, I don't know if he's a CEO or the founder of Blackwater. I don't know what Blackwater is all about, family. I was trying to read some dark truth article about it, but I don't trust no Google information. So if you had Keith on the board, I bet I would have understood much more, but I'll try find out much more of it. But on this video, we have this lady who's explaining how his hands are so dirty. He's one of the people, I'd say, like Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Anthony Guterres type of people, Joe Biden, all these representatives of the Rockefellers and the Rothschild being used to push a certain agenda. This lady thinks that he's part of the people, or he is the one who actually funded or is funding some weapons in China and all that, and a lot more. Let me share this as you understand.
To put the imperial hat back on, to say we're going to govern those countries if you're incapable of governing yourselves, because enough is enough. We're done being invaded.
Because our own national security risk is at stake.
Exactly.
National security interests are at stake.
You can say that about pretty much all of Africa. They're incapable of governing themselves and benefiting their citizens because the government.
These people always have the audacity. I'm just so pissed off by him saying we fail to govern ourselves. Who's governing our leaders? That's the question one. Because Africa is not even governing itself, not even governed by these leaders. These are just representatives, images. I bet you're even dealing with AIs right now.
Governments there are all about looting and pillaging and lining their pockets and going shopping in Paris.
Oh, I mean, as if you don't know that. As if it's not what you really created them for.
Instead of actually
all right, hold on a second. Hold on. People on the left are going to watch this. They're going to say, wait a minute, Eric Prince is talking about being a colonialist again.
Absolutely. Yes.
Of course he was.
Yeah, the audacity, I tell you. And Kit is in the building, actually. But I see Kay Williams is saying that, what did you do for the weekend? I was just chilling, doing some house decoration and all that. So I was just chilling. My weekend was just chilled. I'll not say much. Yeah, and a lot of cooking as well. But also, Jabba says a question: Is Prince signaling? Is Prince signaling hell be the spear for the West to overtake Wagner Group and China? I don't know what you mean.
No, he's talking about being the Wagner Group. The Wagner Group is a mercenary group that was created after Eric Prince's mercenary group in America called I forgot what it was called at first. But what he's saying is absolutely nonsense. I told you, they've said they wanted to go back into Africa because they don't want. It has nothing to do with the leaders are corrupt because they are the ones that made them corrupt. They're the ones that did it. They're the ones that put them in office. They're the ones that keep them in power.
Yep.
They're saying now, we don't even want to fuck with them no more. We want to get rid of them and just take it back over and steal it all for ourselves again. The Africans are morons. He's just being honest. So you had a British defense officer about 5 years ago said, let's just stop playing. Let's go back in and colonize the Negro again. He's a moron. Doesn't know what he's doing anyway. This country's all corrupt. And let's stop pretending like we want them to be able to govern themselves. Let's just stop pretending. Let's just go take it back over. That's what he said.
Well, I feel like especially with this confidence, because when I was watching that video, that lady that was on the screen, she just went ahead and said that he's the one funding weapons in China, blah blah blah. But according to my conclusion, I feel like he's just also a frontier being used, if there's such a term. Someone just who's on the front being used to deliver a certain message. And if that is so, then African puppets also should be threatened, because you're done being used. They have seen you much more of sellouts of your people, and you're capable of doing anything. And
sellouts. They want to put them in power. The people, the idea that they don't know that the sellouts, they want to put them in power.
I know, Keith. But if you look at how the animosity that now African puppets have, how to the extent they have gone. I mean, look at like Kagame. To the extent he's gone with DRC Congo, It's crazy. It is super, super crazy. So do you expect me as the one ruling you who gave you power in your continent? That's funny. In your continent, I gave you power. I give you power in your continent. Act like you have power. I use you. I'm done using you. Because you already shown me and you're protecting me how I can get it so easily. And your people are so ignorant and you've not educated them of who I am. You've literally protected my name. So you think I can't come and now take over and control you? Of course I can't. I can.
Exactly, Joe. But they're saying just in case. These Joe, but what they're saying is they see the youth are waking up. They say that the puppets pretty soon are not going to be able to keep control of Africa. So the Europeans are saying, fuck it, let's go get it now before these damn kids basically say, have revolution everywhere. They see what's happening in Niger. Did you see? You need to go to I didn't get it. Did you see the gold? I think they found part of Mansa Musa's treasury. They were on the Mali-Niger border. They were doing some excavating, and they hit something, and the place is full of gold.
Damn.
Full of gold. You probably go to TikTok, say
who did? Tell me it's the junta.
It was Mali-Niger. Yeah, damn. That's so. They were just excavating somewhere, and they hit something. And the whole goddamn room full of gold, cameras, just gold everywhere. Like damn, exactly. That's how good they are when you go back to loving your people. Good things start to happen to you. Yes, I've been a crook. Just say, Mali and Niger find new gold stash. You probably put that on TikTok. I never seen it on YouTube. I seen it on TikTok. I was like, damn, look at all that goddamn gold. Shit. In the first step, had to be there for years. Just whole room full of gold. I'll see if I can find it. Whole and like just gold everywhere. That's how wealthy Africa's so wealthy. It's crazy. Africa's so rich. It's absolutely mind blowing. I know that they must have been there for hundreds of years, just gold after gold after gold after gold. Like, look at this shit here. God damn. Looks like the mountain they found in damn Congo. That was just a whole mountain of gold. White man can't gold.
It's not on TikTok.
You had to find it. I seen it on TikTok. I should have shared it. I was like, damn, look at all this crap.
No, I'll check later. But yes, I'm saying that.
What he's saying is they don't want to pretend anymore, Joby. They see the youth starting to wake up and going to start overthrowing the puppets.
Yep.
See the youth in Senegal saying, no, we're not going to stand for it no more. So the Europeans realize without Africa, they're poor. They're saying, like, fuck it. He's like, the idea. The leaders are corrupt. You put his ass is a mercenary family created by, that's the reason why Wagner Group was created, because of the mercenary group in America. To have plausible deniability that's not the U.S. government. This is a U.S. mercenary group, as if the government didn't create it, just like the Russian not supposed to be created, the Wagner Group. So it's the same scam. They're scared that the African children are going to wake up. And I told you, the dirty little secret is, as a European try to lie to people, of Africa, Europe's always been impoverished. What's in Europe? What resources they have? Nothing. America, China, all these places will be impoverished. Everybody's been living on borrowed time, exploiting African people and African resources. Africa doesn't need anybody, but everybody needs Africa. Everybody's got wealthy. Africans back and Africans ignorance. Keep these niggas backwards, stupid, and keep stealing from their ass. Keep them morons. That's why you got school fees. Why the educational system is so bad in Africa. I need you ignorant.
I see. Just as I wind up, because I saw under the same video, I don't know if this is a white man who's just gonna be racist or
probably so.
I don't know if it's a mulatto, because it looks like a mulatto according to the profile. So here's a question. One of it is, was Africa stable, thriving prior to European colonialism? Are the machineries, of course, but we wouldn't answer him, Keith. I feel like it's some sarcasm. He also says, are the machineries or rebels that are funded and armed Africans or Europeans? I mean, Africans, of course. Would Africa be a continent of superpower economically and militaristically if the West, that is the US, the UK, France, or China, left them alone? And if you answer yes, what data are you relying on to come with this conclusion? Okay, and it seems to me, to him, he says that it seems to him that black people all over the earth are not skilled to the art of warfare.
Yeah, he's saying black people are dumb. Said these morons, even if we wasn't stealing for their ass, they wouldn't be able to develop because they're stupid. Yeah, he's been honest. He said these dumb niggas, even when we weren't stealing from their stupid ass, they couldn't develop because they're morons.
And he also adds that, and I mean all forms of it, as their Europeans or Asians counterparts, it appears to have been this way for a long time. Just an observation. I mean, it's been like this for a long time, but that is, like you said, that's why they're scared and now are making threats of how they're now going to come take control themselves, because Africans, the youths, the people with the power, the people with the strength to fight, not the weaklings they have been put in who are aged, are no longer needed. Okay? We're no longer.
You notice that moron didn't name no other continent but Africa because it's the wealth.
I mean,
the things are corrupt. Africa. Why you say Asia? Why didn't you say South America? Because nothing compares to African wealth. That's why.
But anyway, family, we're wrapping it up here. Juba Jaba is serious saying that will Africa make noise about this interview or invite him in? I bet you should be making noise about this. I've not seen it. I'll check on TikTok and see, because TikTok people always fired up. Unlike these other platforms, Instagram, Twitter, you can talk a little bit of the truth, but your comments might be blocked and all that if you come too raw, because we are talking about monitored platforms, not us controlling platforms. So I want to see on TikTok if there's that video and what people's response were, because I've seen a couple on YouTube. People are so mad. There's a brother from Ghana who made a video about it. A reaction is like, how dare these people? They're already here, but they're talking about recolonizing us. I mean, what are you talking about? You know, and it is true. You know, it is true. And they're also saying that wow, they're fantastic. Mansa Musa gold. I know. I wish I got some of that. Just one piece. I don't need much, and I'm already rich. I'll just quit Blackwater and I'm gone. You know, I just go to Mali. You know, and I also see Jibajaba is saying that no gold mines in Europe, of course, and they're saying that ways there. That's what I was saying when I was sharing this video of Dr. Arikana. She says how Africans will fail to gain value out of the resources being extorted from us, and it is true. And if, as I was explaining, if you try to look at most of Africans, to my utter shock, that was last year, I didn't know we had so many different names of different resources that we have no idea of. So many of them are hidden. And if you check through Google, how many mining companies do we have in Africa? So many. So far they're saying it's 170.
Yeah,
170.
And none of them are African. They're all European.
Exactly. And you're also saying that trolls always try to sound intelligent but fail. I know it is crazy, but family, we're wrapping it up here. That has been the conversation of the day. Joe Mosquito, karibu sana, but again, kwaheri. You're saying that we have potatoes in Europe, jibajaba. God damn, the ones that they bring here in Kenya for, you know, that's what we actually import. Potatoes. We don't even export. We import potatoes. That is the KFC potatoes. I mean, it's crazy. Why not eat ugali with KFC? They should try come up with different chicken recipe of, you know, trying with ugali.
Yeah, that was
I've seen they've come up with rice. They have added rice on their menu. So I think they should also add some ugali on top of it. It should favor me. It would favor me a lot. But anyway, family, we're wrapping it up. Asanteni sana, Jiba Jaba K. Williams, John Mosquito. Thank you, Keith, for turning up last minute. But I'm glad that you guys did catch up with my show. And to all the amazing silent listeners who have been here on Facebook, on the radio station, and of course on Rumble and on the YouTube page. Thank you so much. See you guys later tonight on the Africa Today show as we catch up with much more of the conversation of what is happening in other parts of the world. But from me here to you, kwaherini. See you guys later. This is the one and only, I don't know her name, I think Pamela. Yeah, Sisi ni wale, get to enjoy this.
Na Mungu sisi ndo wale tuliobarikiwa.